All right, day 10, Maladaptive Daydreaming Inspired Inktober prompt list. This was put out by the channel Mad Art, so if you're interested in participating, check there for, the prompt list and stuff. He has a video on it. Day 10 is wish. So we're just going to talk about the prompt wish and how that might relate to maladaptive daydreaming while I doodle. Also, I can't draw. I guess the obvious role that a wish plays in maladaptive daydreaming is that they often make it into the daydreams. Celebrity is a really common theme in maladaptive daydreaming, in the sense that the celebrities can be characters or love interest, but also in the way that you have celebrity. You're the rock star or the TikToker who made it big, and everyone kind of thinks you're cool or whatever. Yay! And your character can have the attributes that you feel like you don't have in real life. They have power in some way, social or moral or actual physical power, like I'm drawing here. Look at those guns. They're more eloquent, maybe better looking, cool under pressure, and even in the cases where your character has, a terrible backstory where they were weak, that too can just lend to the validity of, their power. They overcame it. They use it to their advantage. They can use it as like street cred to make social change or get one up on their abusers or something. That's assuming you're in your daydreams, I guess. Hey, cat. And I'm not in mine, so I guess my characters have those traits in a lot of ways. But I guess it's harder to feel like it, directly relates to me. There was this story I told my family when I was very young, though. I think I was about 5, as they tell it, where I told them that I was an alien. Or maybe not an alien, but that I was from some other place that was out over the ocean somewhere, and that I had been dropped off in a pink Cadillac. And someday my people would come and pick me up and bring me home in their pink Cadillac. I don't actually remember saying this or telling them this story, but I do remember having this strange belief when I was young that my daydreams were actually memories, and if I could get to the end of the story, I'd remember enough to figure out how to get home. And it was really difficult as a young child when I started getting older and really coming to terms with the idea that that was just a story and that there was nothing real about my daydreams. And this isn't like a confusing daydreams for reality thing. Maladaptive daydreamers don't tend to do that, and even as a child I didn't tend to do that. I guess I would say it's really similar to when you start growing up and growing out of your imaginary friends, maybe. Of course, you always knew they were imaginary, but when you're small, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really mean it's not real in the sense that it's not real to a grown-up, and then eventually you're the grown-up, and some things are let go. And certain magical beliefs about your daydreaming, if you're a daydreamer that's done it since your early childhood, that's something you might have gone through. Yeah, I don't think you can actually see the tires on the Cadillac. I think this is actually under here. I just messed it all up. Maybe if we bring down the undercarriage a bit. Kind of. Even as grown-ups, there is this wish that can persist for the daydream or some aspect of the daydream to be real. What is this? What have you done? Let's make this magical flying car. Flying out into space. A little baby dimmer. And sometimes it's not, isn't that weird? Like those daydreams sometimes where you're like a rock star and you think to yourself, well, maybe this is what I want. But then it turns out you don't actually have any interest in music. And I mean, yeah, maybe some of that comes from like things come so easy in daydreams, and in real life we're not actually prepared to put in the work. But a lot of that comes from too is it's not the music that you have a passion for. or the acting or anything like that. It's the attention, respect, admiration, whatever your particular brand of want is. I'm not really sure. I try not to psychoanalyze my daydreams. What do space elves fighting over the sovereignty of vampires have to do with my real life wishes? With fantastical daydreams like that, I guess it's probably not always obvious. And when we come to our own lives and daydreams, we are supremely biased. So I figure, maybe a therapist could help me figure out what all that means. But do I really even care what all that means? In some people, it could probably really help to know where it's coming from. But I'm not sure it does in my case. So honestly, I don't even care what the wishes of my daydreams are, trying to express to me or fulfill. I think I have a pretty good handle on what I want from my real life, and those are the wishes that I choose to focus on. So yeah, I guess the point is we don't necessarily wish our daydreams to be real, but our wishes do maybe get played out inside them. And at their core, most of those things are probably attainable. You don't have to be king of Middle Earth to get a little respect. You don't have to be a YouTube star to affect change or have some social capital. You don't have to be somebody different to be able to expect some love, I don't know. These are getting harder. We'll leave it there, and I'll see you tomorrow. Do yourself a doodle. Tag it Maddtober.